Hello everyone, it is Cozy K Mills here. I am back actually and officially with a new content of how to build Kinich. If you don't know who Kinich is a 5-star Dendro Claymore user from Natlon representing the Scions of the Canopy, also known as the Melipo. I'm sorry if my name pronunciation is so bad. I had a whole bunch of things to deal with, and I will show you from his overall stats he need, team compositions, constellations as well if you want to, along with talents and how he plays. So hopefully I get to start off with one thing. Now, if you notice, Kinich has a special mechanism that's only made to Natlani's characters that are playable called Night Soul. Night Soul is literally like, I don't know how to describe it, but you guys in the comments can let me know how to describe it. I just also recently realized I had Kinich, and he's basically made for one whole team. I don't count the second one, but he is good for burning the most. If you guys say, oh, he works well with Burgeon, I don't count Burgeon only because of one main thing. The Hydra will always consume the Pyro, and shut up, Bahao! You're irrelevant here. Oh my god! Get out. Alright, sorry, that's a how. He wants to get into the video and we don't talk about a how. So, let's start off with one thing. Kinich needs these as the following: crit rate, attack percentage, and, of course, crit damage. To start off, Kinich, as my own, as you see here, have 2.5k attack. That's because I'm running double pyro. And his crit rate is, in general, 73 over 222. As it is right now, 111 ER. And of course, oh, his Dendro Goblet is missing. Oops, I forgot to fix that before I start the video. I was in a rush here. I was like doing a damage test earlier. But there we go. Kinich has a Dendro Goblet of 46.6. I'm sorry, I'm brain fogged. And only 50% EM, and we're gonna let Ahau speak, even though I'm a hater of him. So, as you notice, Ahau can use these as the following weapons. If you really want more damage potential, you can run his signature Fang of the Mountain King. If you don't have that, Earth Shaker would be definitely your second best bet. And if you don't have that, then I guess that could work, but you can always craft Earth Shaker with the Natlon craftable weapon. And you should be good to go, but most likely he's going to need his Sig to do elemental skill damage increase from burning or burgeon reactions. I don't consider burgeon as a reaction specialized for Kinich, so I always consider burning his best. For artifacts, you can run 4-piece Obsidian Codex, which is a must, of course. Although other times you can run the Emily set, Unfinished Reverie, or Deepwood. It's not going to work well as you get potential damage with 4-piece Obsidian Codex. Now, mind you, with Obsidian Codex, you want to aim around between 60 to 70 crit rate, no over than that, because you will get 90 to 100 in combat when you trigger Night Soul damage. And that equals equivalent factors of how Kinich is going to run and how you're going to need his uptime on his skill. And the talents you can focus on before I move to Constellation, focus on his skill and burst, as most of his damage comes from his skill, and then his burst, which is your summon, who I hate, Kahula How, aka the mosquito that runs with Kinich. As a matter of fact, with Ahau, he gives granting more time for his skill as well. Starting off with before I move on to the teams, we can go on constellations. His best constellation is C2 to decrease Dendro Res by 30%. And of course, his first skill is going to be increasing his Night Soul by 100%. So which means with C2, you get more damage on your first skill you launch. Which is pretty epic if you run that. And I must say, it is pretty interesting. Versus where you can have C4, you restore energy, basically nerfing some energy requirements. And Ahau will do more damage, which you're going to be like, why is Ahau doing damage? Good question. Just to keep the burning in case Kinich is off field. And with Kinich off field, it's really going to be interesting. And then C1 Crit damage is increased by 100%, so you get 300 crit damage in combat. Now for the codex, make sure you have a crit damage circlet, Dendro bonus goblet, attack sand, and of course, that's it. Because some parts of his talent he will need attack for, which is basically his passive Flame Impact, which basically gives his skill 320% of his attack. So mainly you're going to need 2.5k attack either in or out of combat to 3k. Which leads me to more of the talents, again, going to his team comps. Let's get into that. Ahau, stop talking, please, for the love of God. Anyway, Ahau loves to be talking. So, here's the team I'm currently running. Kinich premium team would be most likely Kinich, Mavuika, Durin. If you don't have Mavuika, definitely use Durin, Bennett, and Emily. His main team would function without Emily, but if you don't have that, a nice friendly FTP version would definitely be what I'm running here. Well, if you don't have Mavuika or Durin, Dia's your next best bet. And mind you, in order for Dia to work with Kinich, you have to have Dia C2 for this, because Dia C2 gives an increase of her skill, which equals the same uptime Ahau would be on field to keep your burning sustainably good, but it is what it is. So I'm not even that mad when I lost Dia to Nahida, because it gives me more uptime on Ahau for me to keep the burning on field. So that way I can make Kinich more time to give more burning reaction. Following by this character, you're forced Bennett to buff Kinich's attack. So that way he can have 3k in combat. Excuse my Bennett being level 70, but he has ER. And I play JP. My Bennett's on Skyward Blade. I don't have a Quill of Livonia for burst support, but Noblesse is your best bet. Make sure you don't have any other character on Noblesse. And following by Yao Yao, who is on Deepwood. Where is your circlet today? Ay. All my characters are losing their stuff. I was doing damage earlier with her. Excuse me. So yes, this is your friendly FTP option. Now, if you don't have, again, Durin or Mavuika, you can also run Shangling. But if you also don't have Dia, you can also pick Dia for free from the Genshin Anniversary event, which I will pick again because, yes. But also, definitely Kinich would really want Bennett, and Emily would be your fourth slot. And as it is, Kinich is just pretty good, but there are other few Dendro DPSs out there. He got power creep by Nefer, I would say, but still, certain bosses in Abyss mode where you will have to run Birding, it specializes in Emily or Kinich, and if you don't have those two, you can brute force with Nefer, but there are times it's going to be made for burning in most units. Now, of course, with Kinich, Ahau only pops up once when you have his burst. And before you start off, you have to, if you start off with Kinich's ultimate, put that ultimate down first so that way you can trigger the Night Soul. Following up by your Pyro Applicator, if you have Mavuika or Durin, make sure you use the E's first, then the burst. Bennett, obviously, if you have the burst ready, just use it after you hit the E. And if you have Emily, then E and burst. But if you have Yao Yao, you just E. And then once your E is over, just swap to the ult. I will show you guys this damage rotation real quick as an example. Let me go find a perfect little rodent to kill for that. And today we're going to use the Dendro Chicken, despite the fact it's Dendro Res. And I will show you how that works. I don't really want to trigger any Night Soul Mechanism reaction bosses right now. So the rotation is going to be kind of like a bit too much of a brute force, but it's going to be worth it. So you're going to start off with Kinich's ult if you have that, just to trigger the Night Soul. Swap to Dia with the E, double E. Then you have Bennett if you need to E. Wait for particles. Go down. Yao Yao ultimate. Swap to Kinich. Use go in his skill. And boom. Although the enemy has high Dendro Res, Kinich can hit averagely for me up to 90k. But with Emily, I think it would have been a bit more. But, oh well. It is what it is, though. And then you go back to Kinich if you literally want to. I'm not touching Bennett because in case I had to trigger the Night Soul again. But it's really worth it. And if you want Kinich's skill up longer, you tap out. And yes, if you were to run Virgin, you would be forced Farina, but You know what they say, Farina eats anything that there is. And yes, this hopefully completes the how to build Kinich guide and, you know, how to play him. If you want to see more content like this, please leave a like and subscribe because, yes, it is fun for me to post you guys content. And I know I haven't been posting for a while. I had a lot of personal issues going on in and out. But hopefully this could work again. And a lot of the times I ask, is Kinich still good in 2026? He fairly, I would say, would fit in the B tier because there's other Dendro DPSs out there. But if there were to be Night Soul enemies, such as the Pepela, which is the Papilla, that's where you're most likely going to need Night Soul. He's going to have time to shine. And yes, let's never forget, he is always going to be my number one Dendro character that I had triple crowned. So, yes, and Friendship 10. I've been doing too much Natlon exploration with him. And Kinich is also pretty good for Natlon exploration if you're doing Science Academy puzzles. His birthday's on Pocky Day, which I don't understand. Anyway, that's all I can say, and that's how you build Kinich. Please feel free to type in the comments if you have any further questions, and I will try my best to raise our language. Bye!
Yagamiに報いるために
我が輩の意向は比類なきもの。今はどうも気分晴れない。
かかったな。
きっちり代償を払ってもらうぞ。
俺を楽しませてくれ。投稿も一つの選択だよ。俺は敗者に優しいからね。悪くないね。俺相手によくここまで持つな。汝の魂を我が輩に捧げよう。返事もろくなってやるか。まだ永遠に頑張らせてやる。とうとうおしまいだな、いい道。 弱小パンプス。
手加減なしだぜ。ケア。はっ。
鎮圧。よっ。よし。冒険だ冒険。まずい。最近抗体が値上がりしたっていうのに。冒険だ冒険。初装浄化。重悪昇格。燃えろ。怖くない。
昔日の影我が命を果たせ。
魂を我が輩に捧げよう。
みんなは俺が守る。
もろくにできないわ。
かかったな。
永遠に黙らせてやる。